Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the right direction. I'm your host and mastermind, Bob Rogers, and with me, somebody dear to me. She's my sister. Whoa, didn't mean to knock that over. She's my sister from another mister. Somebody I've known for a while. Have a lot of good ideas, a lot of spunk. She's gonna tell it like it is. Ash, what's up?
What's up, Bobby? How you doing?
I'm I'm kind of nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is
Yeah,
it's kind of stepping out of my bounds from pro wrestling to politics because I haven't done this part in a while.
right. I
We getting
mean,
up.
they kind of go hand in hand, you know. You've been in the wrestling industry. I mean, it's very political. So I think you're moving in the next direction, the right direction.
Right on, right on. Well, let me go ahead and explain what this format is about. I'm here at the right direction. This is not about right, left, up, down. Or what was that old code? Left, left, right, right, up, down, A, B. All right, yeah.
Yeah, give
It's
me
not
my 30
about.
lives. Come on.
It's about truth. As far as I've lived in every type of environment there is. I lived in the ghetto of Chicago. I lived in the suburbs of Chicago. Some of it was by Walter Payton to show you the type of area that was. And then I lived in the rural things of Arkansas when I went to college, and I lived in Bloomington, Indiana, and I'm in Indianapolis. So I think I've almost covered everything except the super rich. And,
Right.
and hearing from these Epstein files, I'm kind of glad I wasn't around the super rich. But anyway,
Woo, ain't that about the room? Man, ain't that right? Yeah.
but I have been thinking about doing this for the last, like, what, 7, 8 months now, because I wanted everyone to have a voice. I wanted everybody to be able to tell their stories because one of the things that stop everybody from progressing and be able to be together in this country is we don't hear each other's stories. We don't see a face or a person behind when we hear something happen to them. It's usually some guy in a shirt and a tie, which ironically, yeah, or some lady. 9 times 10, she's blonde headed, skinny, weigh about 112 pounds, soaking wet with bricks on her shoes, behind a desk, reading off stuff, and not telling the full story of what happened. I'm bringing this format so all of us can come together and watch and see what happens. We can share our stories. We can share what happened. We can share that some of these people or what we've been through and what some of the people don't know that's true and have been rumored that, oh, that don't happen. They're making that up. That's full of crap. That doesn't happen. A lot of people have not been told the truth in this. A lot of people have not been told the truth when it comes to politics at all. I went to
Right.
school for it. I went to college for it. I got a
Mhm.
degree. And unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of good people follow bad word. And that's what this right direction is about. Tell them facts. Tell them the straight up truth. Because as my sister can tell you, I don't care about saying nothing to nobody. I will
Yeah.
tell you the truth or not the truth.
Same here, baby. I don't sugarcoat anything.
Oh, the show as heck don't. No. But
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
but this is about us coming together,
Right.
sharing our stories, and seeing what the right direction is.
Right.
Ash, go ahead, introduce yourself, and then I'll follow you.
Well, my name is Ash. Like Bob said, we've known each other. God, it's been about a decade now, Bob. Been
Yeah,
about
I'm
10
getting old.
years that we've since we met, you know. But
I'm
yeah,
getting
I've
old.
been and me too. It's okay. But in that 10 year, the past 10 years, I've been on a anti-racist journey, and I've also been on an education journey. And I'm just here to. I really just want to teach other people that look like me that you know they need to fucking listen to more people and understand that just because it never happened to you doesn't mean it doesn't happen, and we need to start believing people. I mean, the amount of well, we need to see the full context of that video, and he should have complied, that I've heard over the past decade. It's just turned me into the wokest friend that you have, and I'm just annoying. I'm just a loudmouth. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm your too woke friend that's going to tell you that everything traces back to patriarchy and racism. So
Now, I can't say all that. I ain't even. And me, I can't say all that. Me personally, okay. Well, let me give a little background on myself right quick. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, the ghetto. Sorry about your
I
luck.
grew up. I grew up in the ghetto too.
But like I said, I lived in every type of environment.
Hmm.
Helped with some political campaigns as a real young kid. I was a baby, and I was out with my mom helping the first black mayor of Chicago get elected, Mayor of Washington.
Hmm.
Um, Also helped with the Obama campaign. Did some stuff for them on the quiet side. Um, Always paid attention to politics. Went to school, wanted to run for office, but I looked at everything and said, "No, I don't want to do this."
Hmm.
And the reason being is because of the way people's attitudes are.
Hmm.
They automatically looked at me and said, "Oh, well, you're a Democrat."
Hmm.
Oh no, sorry, I'm not a Republican either. I'm an independent. Sorry about your luck. Yeah, Miss Greer. Yeah, Miss Greer. I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Get
Hmm.
that thing in there. Turn it on. Flip that switch. But anyway,
Hmm. Some of them don't have that thing up there.
which is broke. I don't know, but
I, yeah.
but I'm an independent. Reason being is because I have seen both sides, especially after going to college.
Hmm.
A lot not fulfill their promises, not do what they said they were going to do for their constituents. I've only seen, honestly, 4 candidates in my life stay true to what they are. And to be honest with you, one of them you could people gonna disagree right off top, which I don't see how you can't when you put the facts out there. But one you'll disagree with, the other one died. No, two of them are gone now, which is sad. But four. And my thing was, if I ran and said what I wanted to say, I'd probably get shot.
I mean,
So I mean, I didn't want to lose my life, and because I wouldn't even got up there to serve my country to lose my life. You
hmm,
know, the person in the army or something like that can serve and do something, and when they give their life, they've already done something to pay that debt. I wouldn't have been able to do that. They would have just got me on the campaign trail, get them, you know.
yep.
But the one thing, and you're going to be shocked when I say this, but the one thing that I will say this about Charlie Kirk had the right idea to have a format to where people could come together and say their piece. Even though I think he did it in the wrong way, and even though I think some of his views was real twisted, his concept I did like. Because you need to have that other person on the other side to tell you to your face so you can see that's real. And that's something that I respect. I don't respect his wife too much, but I respect him. We ain't gonna go there, but that's yeah.
I have no respect or love lost for either one of them.
Well, hold on, wait. This is gonna take a little detour. I now that I would think I would be the one that would be. screw him. I ain't trying. But
Mm-mm,
honestly, think about his
no.
format.
I see his format every day online with men with microphones on podcasts all day long on YouTube, on Twitch, on stream. They're from all ages, from young college kids all the way up to men in their 60s. They have these shows, that where people call in, people like you and I. They do the back and forth. It's not just him that had that format, but he was propagated up by these elite politicians for our country, so he got more press. That's the only difference. But
Okay.
only because he was also pushing their white supremacist agendas too. So he got more press. But yeah, I don't respect him or his wife. I don't. There's no love lost over his loss. I think he was a tool and a puppet for the machine, and I think he got exactly what he deserved.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna tell you like it is. People like him don't deserve to be breathing my air. Is how I feel about it.
See, I'm the type. I don't believe killing anybody is the right thing to do. I don't. I
I
think
would
that
never
was
do it personally unless it was necessary, but I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
but I do,
I
and
mean
this is
that's
the reason.
fair. Yeah.
And this is the reason because let's say, okay, we agree the format was cool, but what he was saying was bogus. Okay,
Right.
but
Right.
the thing is, and this is the problem when I heard President Trump got shot. If you go out there and you kill these men, you make them martyrs,
Hmm.
and nobody's gonna listen to your side whatsoever. Because they're like, "Ooh, look what you did! Ooh,
Hmm.
ooh, ooh!" Yeah,
Hmm.
that finger be wagging just like that. Ooh,
Hmm.
ooh. What you? Instead of doing that, you have enough ammunition to go ahead and beat them at their own game. Charlie Kirk's like to debate.
Hmm.
Dean Winters, perfect example.
Hmm.
Kills Mayor Rip. He need to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
He gave him a lifetime of embarrassment on that microphone. You know,
Yep.
Donald Trump. I wish I could have gotten in there with him. I love for him to walk behind me like he was doing Hillary. He got flipped real quick.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't. I don't respect what he did. I really don't. I just think it was. See, and here again, this is the whole thing about the too woke friend. I think that there's a lot more involved with Charlie Kirk as a person. That his wife was probably behind a lot of him being propped up because of her connections with Trump beforehand, and I think that he was just a pawn, like a lot of these guys are, and he was taken out like the pawn that he was supposed to be. I think this
Yo,
was the plan all along.
yeah, y'all women control things behind the scenes. We know that.
I mean, we don't control anything. We just have to take the control that we can get, because we're living in a patriarchy. So, yeah, you can only take so much power when you're only given so much. So, yeah, I think that she's not running anything. She just happened to have the connections to these more powerful men, and those powerful men used her as much as they used Charlie Kirk to prop up their stuff. So, um,
I agree. It was a change of usivity there. My thing is that she could bat her eyes, put on a smile, and she could get her way with most of them though. Because
but
most
that
of these
also,
guys are dumb. They will
oh,
flaunt
absolutely,
anything with a pretty face and a
right,
smile at them. And they're like,
right.
okay, I will do that. So she
I
does
mean,
have
yeah,
that. She
because
does
she
have
has
that.
white privilege. She has pretty privilege. Now, if she would have been, again, him and Candace Owens had a thing going on, but you see how Candace Owens wasn't allowed to get married to him because, oh no, we can't have that. So they had to do their stuff in secret. So I'm just saying, it's a
I,
white pretty privilege that she has learn to use, because as white women, that's what we are taught, is to use our white woman tears to get what we want. And it took me years to realize that that's how I was socialized, and that's how most white women are socialized. And that's why you have all these women Trump supporters that will literally say that they will vote for a pedophile because he's a white man. And it's just that's where we need to, that's where
So
I
hold on.
think that we need to step in and get that under control, because yeah, white women have more power than what we realize, and we've used it in the wrong way for a long time. And I just need to get it out there that white women need to start listening to and acting more like black women. We need to listen to black women more.
oh,
Black
oh,
women are the Black women are the architects of life, and we need to start listening to them more because they have more of an experience, especially in America, dealing with racism and sexism than anyone else in this country.
I gotta give it to you. You got a point because black women have been through a lot.
Yes, they have, and they're still going through
You know,
it, and they still persevere. And the greatest man in the world will only ever be mediocre compared to a black woman. I'm sorry, the greatest man in the world is still just an average man compared to an average woman, an average black woman.
I can't say that. I think it depends on the person. I
Well,
think
obviously, but
I think this is the thing, and I'm not putting down black women at all. They're my queens.
you'll
I got
say you
three.
better not,
I got
because I'll
three
go.
daughters. Three daughters. You know.
Yes.
But my thing is, unfortunately, and especially as the times go on, some of our women are not being shown right. We're not.
Well, yeah.
Back in the day, we had grandmas, aunties, blah blah
Hmm.
blah that was teaching the right stuff.
Hmm.
Nowadays, I don't know what happened. I'm so proud of my daughters. By the way, Alexis, Jade, Kiara, hey, love you.
Hi.
But they are an example of what black women should be.
Hmm.
You know, and I look at, and I'm not saying all, so don't jump down my throat. But some that I see is not on par. They're not. But that's not saying oh, and this is what makes me mad, and it goes to our first thing. The generalizations ruin the democratic process.
Hmm.
You know, I can't say all because it's not all.
Right.
And that's what I see a lot when it comes to politics. Women say all
Right.
men are dogs, which most of us are. But you know, um, when white guys look at black guys and say, "Well, you commit 50% of the crimes," which is bull crap. Um,
Right.
you got white women that look at black women and say, "You too ghetto." You got black women that look at white women and say, "You too Becky." I mean,
Hmm.
Chinese people looking at everybody saying, "All y'all stupid." You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
it
Yeah.
it's a thing to where we're getting these generalizations. We
Hmm.
get hooked into a pattern to where
Hmm.
we're steered only one way.
Right.
And not to be associated with those generalizations, we
Hmm.
tend to accept other things that are not good
Hmm.
so we can still fit in that stereotype.
Right. Now, we both know the stereotypes are there for a reason. The stereotypes are there for a reason. Like the people, as a group,
Mm-hmm.
people we tend to live up to certain stereotypes as our demographics. You know what I mean? But again, like you said, people will automatically look at you and assume you're a Democrat. People automatically look at me and assume that, well, I have it both ways, because they'll assume I'm either, racist white lady, or they'll assume I've got four black babies at home, because I've had that happen to me several times in my life, where people generalize me because of the way I look, and it can go either way. Um, my thing is, I stopped generalizing everybody. I stopped a long time ago, because I've found more often than not the only generalization I can make is that white men over 50 are racist. That's the only
Oh, I
generalization I
can't even
can
say
make.
that. I can't even say that.
That's just that is my lived experience. growing
Oh,
up,
okay. I got you.
growing up in a white, predominantly white family. I do have a mixed family, but predominantly white. It was, yeah, it was. I learned early on uh, how I was better, I was special, I was different, and that black people were below me, beneath me, and I was better than them. And I never believed that, but it was still ingrained in me as a child, and still this day, boomer men, I generalize them as being racist because I've not experienced one that isn't. You know what I mean? If I had ever been around a boomer male that was a white male that wasn't racist, I would be surprised because yeah, that's the generalization. But that's not. I'm sure there are boomer men that aren't racist. I'm sure there are boomer women that aren't racist. Um, but like I said, those stereotypes and generalizations usually come from a place of truth. But it's not fair to assume that everyone is like that. But I'm also under the impression that as a white woman, if you're a black person or a person of color around me, I want you to assume that I'm racist because it's safe for you. Um, it doesn't necessarily mean that I like that. I hate that if somebody would think that I was racist or judging them on their color, whatever, their religion or whatever. But I can understand them not wanting to be around me because it's unsafe for them. So it doesn't bother me. I've had black women tell me they don't want to talk to me. They don't talk to me. Okay, I won't talk to you. That makes them feel safer, and that's fine because they're generalizing me because I'm going to be an unsafe person for them to be around. So I let it happen because yeah, like I said, generalizations aren't always true. Obviously, but more often than not, they're pretty accurate when you're dealing with groups of people.
Let Let me say this. First of all, I'm shocked to hear that you guys you're taught that at a young age. That shocks me. I mean,
Oh,
good
I was
lord.
raised with that. Bob, my dad told me when I have two sisters, there's three of us girls. My dad told us girls that he'd rather us bring home a woman than a black man. That's what I was taught at 13. I was 13, my sister was 11, and my other sister was 9, and that's what we grew up with. But I'll tell you right now, I have a black nephew, an Asian nephew, and they're the love of my life because even though we were taught those things, they don't stick when you grow up where we grew up, when you're around the people we're around, you had the friends and family that we have, those ideas, you hear them all the time and you just think, ugh, dad's stuck in his ways, dad's stuck in his ways. No, they were indoctrinating us. And now that I'm not indoctrinated by that, he doesn't speak to me. I'm no good to him anymore because I didn't live up to that. And I'm the only one that's married to a white man. So yeah, it's just funny the way that works. So yeah,
Wow.
I was taught that, and it. But again, my mom's best friend growing up, her whole life is a black woman. She's my auntie. I talk to her to this day. She is my family. My dad was around her, and he never said anything disparaging, never said anything bad, but let us be out in public, and that N word was flying. You know what I mean? And it was to the point that I stopped using that word, oh God, over 15, 20 years ago, because I saw what the harm it did. And when my nephew was born, I was like, nope, no more. I'm not doing it I'm not going to have that in my life. But yeah, growing up, that was the way it was. I was taught not to integrate. You don't integrate. You're N-word lover. And I'm like, what? Yeah, that's what I was taught. And this is just me growing up in the 80s, Bob. That's me growing up in the 80s and 90s.
Wow.
I'm serious. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't understand that, especially as a white woman, these are what we're taught. We're taught to learn how to take care of a man so that you can grow up and marry a man that's going to take care of you. And you don't need to have an education. You don't need to do anything but have babies. None for me, thanks. I'm good. None for me, thanks. I picked up books. I started reading. I went to school. I learned how to think critically. And no, it took me till I was 37 years old before I got married. and I don't have kids. I did not. My bloodline dies with me, and the reason for that is because of the way I was raised.
Wow. Well, as I was saying about the generalizations, though, which Dad, you keep shocking me every day.
I'm
It
just saying.
it takes a the generalizations takes away from a lot of stuff. Like perfect example, you know, people want to think I'm a political science major. They look at me and be like, "Oh, you're some sports star. You play basketball somewhere."
Right. Mm-hmm.
They oh yeah, Miss Greer. Remember, I'm an independent. Remember that? Yeah, independent. And when I
It's
speak on certain
fair.
forums, people think I'm automatically a Democrat,
Right.
and it's like, what in this gorgeous face do you think makes me a Democrat?
Right.
Do I got like the donkey neon light
No,
coming up?
no, it's the melanin. It's the melanin, baby. That's what everybody assumes it.
But this is what trips me out. The other thing that bothers me the most, and you mentioned it earlier, is that okay, you want to think this, but then when there's something serious that happens, and then I complain about it, and I would like something done about it, you don't take it as seriously. It's oh
Mm-hmm.
something else happened,
Right.
or you because you can't see throughout history, which is already
Mm-hmm.
proven itself, that I will walk down the street sometime, and a cop will stop me and bother me for no reason. I
Yep.
will go to the neighborhood, and they wonder why am I driving through that neighborhood. I
Mm-hmm.
will go to a movie theater in a certain part of town, and then like, why are you here?
Right.
Feel like it. That's why I'm here.
Right. Right.
And the generalizations that we come up with block us from really learning about a person.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not only how you grow up, okay,
Right.
but it's something that you defied that a lot of people don't do, and that's laziness. Let me explain that. Natalie Greer, this for you. This for you. We have these ideas. We have these thoughts. We grow up with them, just like you've been taught them. It's been
Mm-hmm.
instilled in you.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between you and a Natalie Greer or a hold on, I got a list here. Hold on,
Oh,
hold
you
on.
got a list. You put up the list. Oh
Dennis,
man,
Dennis McClain,
he's going Jericho.
Daniel Bow. Yes, I got the list.
Uh,
First Worthy Moose 68, 78. I don't know what type of moose tracks you've been eating, but you need to go back to Ben and Jerry's. But the difference between my sister from another mist over here and
oh,
you guys is that she's not lazy. She did the hard work. She
I'm
stuck her
still
neck out
doing
there.
it.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
She stuck her neck out there and got to know individual people to see that this person may be a piece of trash, but this
Mhm.
person isn't. This person is Chris Jericho. This person
Is on the list.
and he's on the list.
Right.
um,
Yes.
they did the hard work. She did the hard work. I did the hard work. Right now, I should hate every Latino person on this earth after what my ex girlfriend did. But you
If
know
that's the
what?
case, I should hate every white man I ever met
There you
and do.
go. But you know what? I don't. Because
Right.
each person, remember, hold on, Natalie Greer, I'm sure you said this before. I'm sure you said it before. Um, it's a thing that you conservatives on your side, you say something about personal responsibility. Well, why don't you use your personal responsibility and get to know the individual person and do the hard work to know them instead of generalizing everything when it comes to elections, things of that nature. Why don't you do the hard work and sit here and listen to someone when they're giving their life experiences? Or there's an open format where people can talk like this one and learn what these people have went through and what these people are thinking. Also include yours as long as yours is factual. Because people can tell lies. Let's be factual. Get that, Natalie Greer? Factual. And do the hard work of deciphering everything that someone said. And then you can say, hey, this person's right. Or you can go on with your idiotic attitude. Either way, it's up to you. We as Americans are in this country because we wanted one thing: freedom of choice. And unfortunately, you guys are not giving that. And now, don't get me wrong, Democrats ain't too far ahead of you in that department either, especially when it comes to a brother. But I will say, they give us more leg room than you do. Because conservatives, look what you did to Tim Scott. Self-explanatory right there.
Yep.
All of your racial, god dog conservatives, you guys turned on them like an ex-wife looked at alimony.
Because that's what white supremacy does. They use women, they use black people, they use Latinos, and they use them as the face of this movement of their propaganda. And then they'll be the first ones they throw on the fire because they don't care. That's fodder for these people because it's all propping up white supremacy and patriarchy and capitalism. That's why.
You know what? This last election, I predicted. Well, when Trump ran before against
Yeah.
Hillary, I predicted he was going to win. This one, I predicted he
Yeah.
was going to win, and
Yeah.
I picked out who was going to get it to him. It was the Latino voters.
Yeah.
The reason being is, and this is again when you're dealing with culture, and one of the reasons why I have the pictures and thumbnails that I do on this video, because somebody will remain nameless, Dennis McClain,
He
wanted to
didn't
talk
remain
about.
that nameless.
Yeah, I'm thinking John McCain every time I say it, like we watch it Die Hard.
Oh, he ain't that cool. He ain't that cool. Don't give him that kind of. Don't give him that.
Oh, he's nowhere near John McCain. No, he ain't
Yeah,
nowhere
no,
near that dude.
no, no. We're not giving him no McLean status.
Dennis McClain is just, he's ignorant. Because I'll read to you a little bit what he said. Who said we love the culture? I am American. I care about my culture, nothing else. Sounds like
What's
somebody
American
got needs.
culture?
Sounds like somebody needs a diaper in a bottle right now, don't it?
I mean,
Because
really.
no other cultures even interest me. That does not make me a bad person. Just because I don't give a fuck about the culture. Hold on, wait.
Can you tell me what American culture is?
Hold on. I got you. Natalie Greer, we're gonna get off you for a second, all right? We're gonna get off. You can go and rest. Go rest, okay? Dennis McClain, this is you now. Step up.
Let's
Check this
go.
out. You claim to love America, right? Huh. Well, I can kind of understand why you probably live in that small town that you do instead of living in a place like Chicago. But you keep forgetting that small town is still in the United States of America.
Yep.
And America is a melting pot.
Yep.
America is about all different races, all different cultures, all different societies coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Living under one constitution with the pursuit of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot that. You're supposed to be smart, man. I was looking more from you. I'm kind of disappointed, but you gave me a layup right down the lane on that one. You know that, right, Mr. McLean? You know that, right?
uh,
Yeah, it makes you a bad person. Because guess why? The very time you try to step up here and say, "Oh, this is about America and America first," and yeah, my God, yeah. Guess what? You're going against everything that America stands for when you do stuff like that.
yep.
You go against America when you stop people or try to talk people into not listening to an open forum and speaking their piece and listening to other people's piece. You go against America by existing. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Because your idea of America is supposed to be what you want, how you want it, and the way you want it. Is not Burger King, bruh. This is the United States of America. This is about all cultures coming together. I got friends that's Pakistani, all the Indian nations over there. I can't name them all because they all got twisted names and I get tongue tied. I have Russian friends. I have friends that's Polish. Friends that's from Spain. I mean, directly from Spain. Not no second, third, fourth, fifth generation. I mean, right off the plane. My ex girlfriend is Salvadorian, and to hear the journey that their parents, her parents went through to get here and to
Mhm,
get naturalized.
mhm,
It's worth two movies within itself.
right.
But you want to shut out those stories because you're lazy.
Mhm,
Yeah, Mr. McLean, you, you, sir,
mhm,
you're lazy
mhm,
because you don't want to compete.
mhm,
You want everything handed to you.
mhm.
You want that participation trophy delivered to your door, FedEx, to say, hey, I'm an American and I'm proud of it. And look what I got. No.
Mhm,
You want people to pull up by your bootstraps to where your size two's at because your feet ain't big enough to be in mine.
uh,
You, sir, are a disgrace to America. You, sir. Not because you're conservative, because I don't even consider you a conservative. I consider you a Trumper.
mhm,
Because conservatives are like John McCain. Somebody I got mad respect for.
yeah.
John McCain was a great dude. There's others. There's others. We're gonna stop at McCain because I'll go on a list too long and then I gotta keep pointing my fingers up. So, but you're not even conservative. You're a Trumper. You're not even a Republican. You're a Trumper. Let's
And
just
there is
get
a
that straight.
difference. There is a
We
difference.
have officially, which they thought it would not happen, we have officially got a third party in the United States. It's called Trump.
Yes. Maggots.
The Malas. Yeah.
Maggots.
Sir, are the elements of this country.
Mhm,
You, sir, are the problem with this country. Oh, and Natalie Greer, we're going to get back to you too. You, ma'am, are also the problem of this country. And
mhm,
until you guys stop being lazy and pull up your bootstraps and to learn what else is going on out there and not be
mhm,
selfish for your own gain,
mhm,
that's the only time you can call yourself an American citizen.
mhm.
And while you're trying to deport other people out of this country, trying to say it's your country, because again, you're lazy. Now get this ass. You gonna love this one. This is how you're lazy in that department. What's the biggest complaint that we hear guys talk about when it comes to people that with immigration? What's the biggest phrase we hear?
They should have came here legally.
No, okay. I'll give you that one too. I'll
That's
give
the
you
one
that
I
one too.
hear.
Get this one. You gonna love this one. They come and take all our jobs.
Right. Hmm.
You know
Right.
my thing.
You mean all the jobs that none of us want to do because they don't pay us enough to want to do them? I mean, you don't get any benefits to do them, but yeah, you'll have Mexicans come over here and pick fruit and build houses and put on roofs, and they're making money, they're paying taxes, but yet I don't see any of these other guys lining up to do those jobs. I don't see Americans lining up to do them because they're not paying people enough. Because these companies know they can bring in outside labor from other countries and pay them less money than what they would pay American citizens. Because God forbid you give anybody a living wage in this country.
Hey, yeah, you just took everything I was about to say.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry. People kill me with that. Oh, they're taking our jobs. They're not. If they can, if somebody could come over here, like they say, they come over here with no language access to English at all. They don't have any money. They don't have any place to live. If they can come and take your job was not that good to begin with.
No,
You
you
know what I
just didn't
mean?
have to in the first place.
Thank you. Yeah. No, that's the thing is that nobody's taking your fucking job, dude. You work in an office. You work in a damn office on a computer all day. You know what I mean? Nobody's taking your job. You work in a factory. Half the factories in this country have been shut down anyway because of them sending stuff to other countries. Half of our manufacturing in this country is gone. We don't have any kind of work like that where you can go in and have a pension after working there for 20 years. We don't have that. So what jobs are they taking? It's the corporations that are taking these jobs away, not the fucking immigrants.
Thank you. My
I'm
people
sorry.
is it for me. I ain't even got to say nothing. I can just,
I'm just
I just
saying, immigrants work harder than any other person, any other demographic in this country. I swear to God, and they get shit on for it, and there's no reason for it because, like I said, they are doing the jobs that no Americans want to do. We found that out when they took when in Florida when all the people went off the job sites, all the people went out of the fields, and the strawberries weren't getting picked. Shit
yep.
wasn't getting done. And it grinds to a halt because they took out all their labor. And then what happens? They're going to have to come in, they're going to have to pay Americans, legal white people, more money on top of what they was paying them for less, for, shittier work because they're not going to do it as well because they don't have the same kind of, training that these people do. So yeah, it's a detriment. And oh well, they're soaking up all of our resources. What fucking resources do we have? We don't have health care. We don't have like housing programs. We don't have resources for our people, let alone for immigrants. So I don't understand when people say, "Oh, it was going to cause the ERs to fill up, and it's going to cause." Shut up, because that's already how it is. You're saying this from a place of having a health insurance that you can go to a doctor and get stuff done. You're saying this coming from a place of privilege. You're saying that, and you don't understand that it's a privilege because it's just been handed to you for no reason your whole life other than because you're white.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Nah, I'm gonna stop you when I think you went over a little bit.
Come on.
I can't say that they don't get it just because they're white. What I can say is that they don't realize what they have, even though they have earned it. You do gotta have a job. Do gotta own a business to get some of these benefits. Okay. The thing that makes me mad is they want all of it for little, just like the corporations want you to do all the work and pay
Yes.
you little. That's the problem. It ain't
Yes.
because it's because they're greedy.
Well, again, that comes from a place of patriarchy and white supremacy and capitalism. They're all intertwined. So when you say it's because they want it all because they're acting like corporations. Yes, corporations act like that because they're allowed to. We white men act like that because they're fucking allowed to, and I don't think that they should be allowed to act like that. And we've just accepted it, and now you got all these people out there spouting this shit of, oh, they're taking our jobs and they're coming over here and taking all of our resources. No, we don't have that shit. We don't have that shit. And like I said, anybody that's saying that is saying that from a place of privilege.
Well, the point. Let me get back to my point real quick because I
Okay,
did
you
go.
go ahead. Go ahead. We did go off. Yeah,
But
yeah.
oh yeah, Mr. McLean, back to you. Sorry, we did get off the
Oh
bit
yeah, we
there.
did get off.
Um, you said we love the culture. Well, obviously, out of the things that we've been talking about, you do love the culture because they are doing things that we won't do. They are having processes that we won't take up and do, and it
Mhm.
may help this country go. $1.7 trillion have went into this country because of immigration and
Mhm.
what these people have done working, and don't
Mhm.
even get a tax refund back. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That's 1.7
Mhm.
trillion.
Yep.
Trillion. You keep
Mhm.
pronounce your vowels. Trillion.
Right.
Now, I'm sorry. You don't care about nobody else's culture. That's sad.
Yeah.
But you sure as hell love the benefits from having them here.
Yes.
So why not
Yes.
respect the people that's giving you the benefits to have the luxury that you have? But I
Because
digress.
Americans love their slaves. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's why people treat service workers like shit because Americans love their slaves. And that's
And
why that's why it happens because they want to feel like they're superior to someone.
yes, and the thing is that if at first it was done to a lot of African Americans first, but we were the test subjects
Oh yeah.
because now, and this is why I say it ain't just white now, green.
Mm-mm.
Because guess what? They're doing now. They're saying, well, we see how it worked when we did it to black people.
Mm-hmm.
In the countermeasure that happens with the civil rights movement,
Mm-hmm.
now we're going to use psychology to get everybody.
Yes.
And Mr. McLean, even though I've made plenty of fun of you on here and embarrassed the crap out of you, and I'm not sorry about it, but my thing is that you're being used too.
Yes.
You're not
Yes.
$300,000 a year. You're not having a jet plane in your backyard.
Yes.
You know, just like Natalie Greer, same thing. They're using you too.
Yep. These people think because they make over $100,000 a year, they're going to be in the billionaire class. No, you will never get to that point. You will never be on that level. But you're gonna keep capping and shucking and jiving for these motherfuckers, and it's not going to get you anywhere but the grave.
See, this is also the problem. We think too old school at times. Because
Mhm.
back in the days, $100,000 was a lot of money.
It was. You're right. It was. And
But
now
because
it's
of
like
inflation,
nothing. Yeah.
off of things like tariffs
Yep.
and things like that, we're gonna
and
mention
taxes
religion
on
on
and
there.
taxes on the lower class going up to pay for people like Bezos and all those to not pay taxes when they have
Yep.
billions of dollars that they're hoarding like fucking dragons on gold. It's like they could all literally give out just 1% of their money and the entire world would be perfect. We wouldn't have to worry about being sick or hungry or homeless. And they
You know
won't
what
do
I do if I
it.
was president?
You what?
You know what I do if I was president?
Oh
All
God, I can only imagine.
top 300, 4% tax, flat out.
Yeah, if you make over $1 million a year, you should be paying 98% of that in tax.
I can't. I can't say a million. I can't. Because a million ain't a lot of money no more.
Again, that's fair.
I will go 50 million.
Okay, we'll go 50 million. If you make $50 million a year in this country as profit, then yes, you should pay
35%
more
tax.
taxes. Exactly. We should go back to the rates we had before Reagan did all his bullshit.
I will go with
Um,
Clinton. I think Clinton's rates was fair.
I,
I like Clinton's
I,
rates. 35%, 33%, that's not bad. I would do that if you're making $50 million or more.
I mean, that's
I
better than what we have now. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you
way
know,
better. I will go
the fact that you and I pay more in taxes last year than Trump, Bezos, and Google combined paid, that's not right. You and I paid more taxes than those three multi-billion-dollar corporations paid last year,
That's
and
true.
we're putting more in to we pay taxes for a reason. We pay taxes to get roads, to get schools, to get hospitals, to pay for these things to happen, and we don't get the benefit of them. I don't get the benefit of those. I mean, yeah, I get to use the roads, but roads are all tore up. They don't want to put the potholes down. They don't want to put salt down when it snows. That I
Well,
don't have, it's
that
all this money
that's
is
more
going
that's
somewhere.
but hold on. That goes more to local government though.
That's okay. Local, you go local, and even still, in certain counties, you pay more taxes just to go to a fast food restaurant than you would in the county over. So
Yeah.
I'm paying 10% to go to a fast food place in that county, but I'm only paying 7% to go in this one. But yet, there's more money going to certain areas of local places than others. You know what I
True.
mean? Like in Indianapolis alone, I grew up here, and it is disparity across the city on where that money goes and where it flows from our local governments. And it's, and again, it ties into redlining, it ties into, gerrymandering, it ties into income. And if you're low income, you don't get shit. If you're middle, you get a little bit. But if you make more money, you're going to get more benefits in your local area than the people that need the prop up, that need that equity, that need that little bit of help. So it's
I
still,
I definitely agree on that one.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, the fact that
I'll
these
say this though,
multi-billion corporations don't pay taxes is really, it
but
just, that's the issue.
I'm gonna say this on the local front. Be glad you ain't in Chicago.
Yeah, I like
That's
Chicago.
the thing that's the only thing I can say I don't like about my hometown is the taxes.
Yeah,
Taxes
that's
what
fair.
12% off top.
Yeah, that's fair because yeah, everything's expensive there.
I mean, if you smoke cigarettes up there, boy,
Oh, don't. Yeah, you go cross state line to Indiana.
yeah, you
You
can
go
get
across
habit
that.
real quick.
You go. I was gonna say you go to Calumet. You go to Hammond. You go over there. You get you some cigarettes and come on back. But yeah, yeah, that's true.
All
But I
right,
also
let's
think
go.
that Chicago's a bigger city and they have a lot more people putting in more money. So I don't know. Plus, it's got a lot of tourism, so it's a little different than Indianapolis. But I can
Well,
understand where you're coming from on that one.
but see, this is what makes me mad on that one. I won't get off this. I will get off this real quick.
Mm.
The thing that makes me mad about Chicago is when they did the project swap. Okay, they
Hmm.
tore down a lot of projects and built condos.
Right.
And then not only did they do that, the old apartment buildings that are around in certain areas, they just remodeled them and called them condos. So
Yeah,
you're
and then
getting more
charge
property
them. Yeah,
tax,
yeah, that's
than what
true.
you
Yeah,
was before when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
right. It's like they
So,
gentrified the ghetto.
yeah, boy, did they.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
went back and was like, what the heck?
yeah. No, I noticed that too because I go to Chicago every now and then just to hang out, and I've noticed that too over the past 10 years or so that it's a lot of gentrified areas that it's like, damn, you used to be able to afford to live over in this area. Now, no, you can't live over there anymore. But that's like here in Indianapolis, though. They gentrified, a lot of places like Fountain Square. That used to be the hood, and now it's like bars, restaurants, nightclubs, all that stuff over there. And it's the housing over there. It's gone from you were paying $35,000 for a two-bedroom. Now it's $150,000, 170, $200,000, and it's like,
Hmm.
damn, the gentrification will get you. I got to
Yeah.
walk out my back door every now and then and pop off a couple rounds to keep the gentrification from my neighborhood.
All right. Next subject. Oh my God. I know we were moving this a couple of weeks, but I still got to bring this up. Super Bowl.
Ah,
Bad
Bad
Bunny.
Bunny. I loved it. I loved it.
What
I
do you
loved
think of it?
every bit. I loved every bit of it. Just the whole scene of all the Puerto Rican, the farmers and the line workers and like just the dancing. Oh God, I loved it. It was so good. I love Bad Bunny though. I don't speak a lick of Spanish other than what I've taught myself over the years, but man, I loved every second of that halftime show. I love Bad Bunny. Period.
This is something I don't understand. you had everybody sitting up here tripping.
Hmm.
Talk, well, we should have an American do the
He
Super
is
Bowl half.
American.
That's my point.
And this is where it goes
What,
back to ignorance. People are so ignorant that they don't realize that Puerto Rico is American. You know, I
what private school system
I know,
failed you in
I
third
know,
grade to know that Puerto
right,
Rico is part of America?
right. Virgin
Why
Islands, yeah,
why don't you have that type of capability to understand what your states and provinces are? But you're America, right?
right, yeah. It's so weird to me, and it's like the same people that are bitching about the halftime show are literally the same people that go to the Mexican restaurant every Friday and have margaritas and fajitas for dinner.
And guess what they do?
You know what I mean?
They complain. They complain that they speak in Mexican in a Mexican restaurant.
Right, right. Like I can understand you should speak English. This is a Mexican restaurant. Like the fuck? Like
Look what you walked into.
yeah, yeah.
That's like
They
that's like
they
coming
want
to
to
my house.
benefit. Right.
That's
They want
like
to
coming to
benefit
my
from the
house.
culture, but not pour into it. I just don't get it.
That's like coming to my house looking for tortellini and spinach.
Well, you don't like tortellini and spinach. No, I understand exactly what you mean, though. You're right. You're right.
Excuse me, sir. Why do you have marinara sauce over all this?
It's so. Again, it's so stupid because literally all the people that were bitching about that, they all talking about they're gonna go watch the T
The lip,
Pusa
the lip
halftime.
syncing contest.
Oh my god, dude! I saw clips of that and I'm like, wow, wow! You couldn't even sync up your audio. That's wild.
We do better than that at wrestling shows.
I know, right? I have seen little wrestling matches at apartment complexes that had better sound quality. I've been to independent wrestling shows with better lighting and sound than that freaking concert.
They need to change his name from Kid Rock to Kid Suck.
I mean, really, it should have been changed that a long time ago. But my God, that was the most. It was the most cringy thing ever. And then you had the other boy. I don't even know who he is because I'd never heard of him before. He did the whole Bo Burnham pandering song, talking about I just want to drink my beer and drive my truck. It's like, God, did you have Chat GPT write this song for you? What the hell? Yeah,
This is what.
it's so boring.
But the thing about Bad Bunny though is Bad Bunny, honestly, out America.
Absolutely, yeah,
He
yeah,
pulled everything out the hat.
yep.
That man, if you do not understand Natalie Greer, see, this is where you guys have trouble. It's called symbolism.
Mhm.
And to have symbolism is something that I
Mhm.
said on the chat that you need. It's called comprehension.
Mhm.
Just like you didn't comprehend
Mhm.
about my political affiliation, I'm sure you didn't comprehend what all that was on Bad Bunny's halftime show. Because
Yep.
guess what? Well, number one, let me say this: you probably was a zombie and didn't look at it on your own. You probably followed everybody like a sheep and watched them lip sync over at the other thing. So I
Yep.
might excuse you for that. But if you did take the time to do a replay and watch it, the symbolism behind it was more American than anything
Mhm.
Kid Rock has produced within his lifetime.
Absolutely.
And if you don't understand that,
Mhm.
you're not American, bro.
Right.
Period.
Right.
It is
No,
Puerto
you're absolutely
Rico,
right. But it's still
but it's
America,
America.
and
Remember
it
that.
is. Yep, and it's still his lived experience and the lived experience of every person from Puerto Rico. Because every single thing that I've seen about it after that are people from all over the Americas, and that's the other thing. He named every one of the countries in the Americas. And we forget that we are the United States of America. There
Yes.
are a vast countries in America, and they don't, we have, and he named them all. And that is representation. People really want to see representation. Like, hey, it's not just white people in this country. Like, there are so many of us here, and
Yeah.
that's representation. And I think it was moving. It was beautiful. I think he did a great job. And
That
I,
man
like I said,
on all of them.
I don't, oh
I
man, I
thought
don't
he was.
speak a lick of Spanish, but man, them girls shaking their booties, man, I was into it.
Oh, I was into that. I was definitely
I
into
was
it.
into all of it, man. That whole performance. And then when he handed the Grammy to the little boy, and he said,
Yeah, that
I
was
believed
sweet.
in you. Dude, he is basically like him handing that to all of the children of Puerto Rico and saying, I believe in you. And, and I just love that. And again, symbolism. That is him using his artistry and using what he can offer the world to put something good out into the world, which is probably something that, Miss Greer cannot fathom.
No, she couldn't. She could.
You know what I mean?
You know what I
People like
compared it
her.
to when I saw
Hmm.
that? When Barack Obama gave his speech when he won.
Yes, I can see that because yes, that's that was an American thing to see the first time ever our first black president to give his acceptance speech.
That that
Man,
that that handing of that Grammy was the same meaning
yeah,
that I saw on a parallel level when Barack Obama was giving his speech.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I would have never made that comparison, but yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and like I said, he used his voice and his artistry, and just the caption on the back, of the stadium behind him,
Yeah,
that alone is more powerful than all the hateful shit and all the rhetoric that you heard leading up to it. You know what I mean? You win more with love than you do with hate and acceptance of people and understanding that hey, just because I've never been to Puerto Rico doesn't mean that I can't understand that they have a rich cultural heritage. I'm a white American. I have no fucking culture. You know what I mean? I mean, what culture do I have? I have mac and cheese? No, that ain't shit. I don't have culture. My culture is fucking racism, and that's what it is. And American culture in general is racism. But to have somebody bring their culture over and say, "Hey, I'm American too, but look, we have all these, these certain things that we eat, certain things that we listen to, certain ways that we move our bodies." You go to New Orleans, like right now, I'm seeing all these videos from Mardi Gras and the multicultural melting pot that is New Orleans. Man, it doesn't matter what color you are down there. Doesn't matter what flavor you are down there. They're all popping off right now. From Hispanics to Creole to black to white, doesn't matter. It's all Mardi Gras, baby. You know what I mean? And that's how our whole country should be. And most big cities are like that. Like you say, you go to Chicago. I stay in Chinatown. I fucking love staying in
oh
Chinatown.
my God.
I fucking love
Oh,
Chinatown. Okay, Wentworth Seafood
oh,
House. Wentworth Seafood House. Okay, that I go every time. I love it, and every time I go, it's just all the beautiful colors. You learn all this. I like to learn about different cultures, so I like to go around and talk to people and learn about different things and why they do certain things. And it's just and then you go to the Cuban neighborhood, and then you go over. You know what I mean? And then you got the Polish neighborhood right around the corner, and it's
and
like I
Greektown.
love that. I love it. Greektown, yes, I love it. And here in Indianapolis, you got certain areas that is Hispanic areas. You have certain, and you can go and you can get any kind of food, any kind of clothes, any kind of cultural thing that you need. You can go and find it on certain sides of town. And I love that about living in a city because living in the fucking suburbs, they didn't have any of that. Like I said, it
Nope.
was Mayo City out there. You know what I mean? Mayo's too spicy for some of those people out there, and I couldn't stand it anymore.
Oh, what?
And you know where I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but that's why I love living in a place like America where people were told, "Hey, it's the land of the free, and you can come over here and you can do and be whoever you want to be," and they did. They took us up on our fucking offer, and they came over and made this a better place because it brought us culture. Because before that, we just stole other people's cultures and claimed it as our own. And and now we as an American, I like I said, I don't have a culture. I was told that I was Irish and German growing up. That don't mean shit when you're an American. When you're told to assimilate to America, you know what I mean? I'm not German and Irish. I am by blood, but I'm not. I am an American. I was not raised in Germany or Ireland to know their culture. Yeah, I have certain things from my family that are cultural that have been passed down. But I mean, we're all on stolen land. We are standing on stolen land, and it doesn't matter. And I think the only gift that we could give back from being on stolen land is at least learning people's freaking cultural practices and understanding that they're allowed to have them. They're allowed to feel those ways. They're allowed to have these ways of that they live even here on our soil. And that's the great thing is, getting out of your bubble, getting out of that, you know, Hendricks County mindset, and you get out there and you learn that there are people that that have different cultures than you. It's not just about riding your four-wheeler, shooting your gun. You know what I mean? Like, in life.
That's true.
It's so basic though. And like, who wants to be white? Ew. I don't want to be white. These people are boring. Bob, get me out of here. These people are boring. Nah. Yeah, he probably would. Nah. But yeah, it just kills me that people are all up in arms about Bad Bunny and he's not American. Why is he on? He is an American. Literally represents everything that America should stand for. And then you got people over there. Oh, I'm going to listen to Kid Rock. Okay, go listen to another fucking pedophile if you want to, because that's all you guys seem to listen to anyway.
Boy.
You know what I mean?
Boy.
It kills me about how all these people that I grew up with and that are relatives of mine that I know and love that I can't even speak to anymore because they hate me. I've found that out that there are people in my life my family that hate me on a basic level because I'm a woman, because I'm an M-word lover, because I'm woke. I've been called all those, and I no love lost between me and any of those people because I learned that those people are not good people, and I don't want to be associated with them. Now some of them I have to be associated with. But
why do you want to stay asleep? Why wouldn't you want to be woke?
I know, right? And I think ignorance is bliss for a lot of people. Like just being ignorant is bliss for them because it hasn't punctured their bubble, and they want to. They're ignorant. So yeah, and it's bullshit. Like I said, there was a time where I've said and done problematic shit in the past, and I've been one of those people that questions, well, what did he do before he got his ass shot off? What happened? I don't question that anymore after seeing all this shit on videos that you see, because everybody's filming shit nowadays so much more than a decade before, that you actually can see it now, and then people still don't believe it. It's like there's literally video of police killing black men for no reason. There's literally videos and evidence of all of these things, and you still don't want to believe that this is happening. You're ignorant. You're ignorant, and you want to remain ignorant. And you can call me woke all you want, but I would much rather be awake than asleep. I would much rather know what's going on than to continue to be given this propaganda that you're better than other people just because of the color of your skin or because the status of your bank account. And I don't believe that. I would much rather be awake. I'd much rather be awake than sleep. But a lot of people like to sleep. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to be ignorant. A lot of people just like that ignorance is bliss. And they're just going to continue their lives because God forbid you learn anything new after the age of 25. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still a student of the world, and I listen to as many voices as I can, and as many different people as I can, and I take whatever resonates. And I've started, I just started listening to people. Like you said, people don't listen to each other, and they
Nope.
generalize, and they just assume that you're a certain way. And it's like, yeah, I don't like to do that anymore. I don't, because I've been wrong so many times because of assumptions. Because I assume, oh well, I grew up with them. They love me. There's no way that they would, vote against, my stuff. There's no way that this person would vote this way and think this way. Yeah, there is too many
Yeah.
people I know that vote against their best interest because they are, living up to that racism mentality,
True.
and it sucks. It sucks, and it like again, it permeates into so many things that you don't really realize it until you start learning about it, and you're like, damn, everything is like it all circles back to these three main things, and it's like, damn, maybe we should start over. Maybe we should change it up, get a different system,
True. True.
because I don't think this two-party system is working out too well.
Nope.
This choice between a giant douche and a turd sandwich is not working out. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. All right. Check this out.
All right.
We're gonna save the Save America Act for next episode.
Okay.
I'm gonna get delve into something that I'm not gonna lie, personally pisses me off, and I'll explain why here in a second. But I'm going to talk about students and when they have been leaving the protest. Now, I'm trying to keep this in a very calm, very stoic type of temperament, but it grinds my freaking gears. That's what it does. Because I'm seeing, and I tried, and I'm going to call this person out. I don't care. They can get mad if they want to. But I tried to call Plainfield High School and speak to
Mhm.
the principal, because, of course, you know how I think. I'm thinking maybe there's something else to why they don't want these students to go out. You know,
Mhm.
is it insurance? Is it a safety issue? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Is it they don't get the full funding from the federal government if they leave early? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm trying to honestly see what else is there to go ahead and say, hold on, well, maybe it's not all this. They have these business reasons as well.
Mhm.
So we won't let, these students can't come out.
Right.
I talked to the secretary there, left a message for the principal 3 times. Never got a response. Now, this is the thing. If it was nothing and it was a business reason,
Mhm.
I believe they would have called me back and said, hey, we got to make this quick because blah, 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 but we want to answer your question. Reason being is, it's an insurance issue. Somebody might fart and stink up the hallway.
Right.
I mean, something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Dead silence.
Right. And
Sometimes
that
silence.
silence tells you everything. Yep.
Sometimes that silence speaks louder than a megaphone.
Mhm. Mhm.
The thing that makes me mad on this is history.
Mhm.
This is something that's taught in schools.
Mhm.
You've learned about the civil rights movement. Well, I don't know
Mhm.
about Plainfield now. They might not. The way
Okay.
you act, whether they don't
Mhm.
fall back or none, make me think they might not. But
Right.
normal schools learn about the civil rights movement.
Right.
Normal schools learn about protesting when it came
Mhm.
to China and they was getting treated wrong.
Mhm.
Most schools learn about events that happened to where people stood up. You
Mhm.
quick, real quick, do the Revolutionary War when people stood up. You real quick to do the Boston Tea Party, or we dump lifted tea all over the. Oh, no, it ain't lifted tea, but we dump tea all over the place.
Mhm.
And do it for the modern stuff. And my thing is, it makes me mad that you don't use this as a teachable moment.
Right.
So then they can grow up and have a choice.
Mhm.
And if anybody that watches this is one thing you will learn about me. Whether I like it or I don't like it, I learn to love it. Not just because it's the best thing going today, woo, but it's about choice,
Mhm.
which is the fundamental element of what America is about.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, you did gave a teachable moment away
Yes.
to these students because
Mhm.
you had your panties up your ass.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, whoever's the superintendent or whoever's over Plainfield High School, who's over the principal, the board or whatever, or the district, you should fire him. And I'm seriously thinking of starting a petition to get you fired. I'm going to tell you that up front. I don't hide from nobody. I tell it straight to your face. Because you want to sit up here and just like she's saying, oh, what was that, Miss Greer? Hi, Miss Greer. We're back to you. Trying to say, well, you're trying to indoctrinate people into thinking like you do. No, I'm telling the truth.
Mhm.
But when you talk about indoctrinating into thinking, scaring kids into not fundamental doing their fundamental First Amendment right is
Mhm.
indoctrinating them into doing something.
Yep. Yep.
Shutting people off from hearing an open forum is
That is.
indoctrinating them to think about something.
Yep.
Trying to curb somebody's freedom of speech is
Mhm.
indoctrinating
Mhm.
them into doing something.
Yes. Yeah.
You give them a
My thing is
choice.
that my thing is that all of the stuff that I saw, especially local here in Indiana, in Indianapolis, my nephew went and did the walkout. My sister went with him. His mom went with him and stood out there with all the other students. And there were teachers out there helping, corral the kids and making sure that they weren't like, acting up or anything. But like I told her, the very first protest I ever went to was a school sanctioned protest that us students put on because something happened at our school where one of our professors was fired for something that we thought was stupid. And when we were given the information, us as students decided to have a protest to get him back. That was my very first introduction to activism was in my high school class learning about how to use your voice for good or how to get your point across to people who don't want to listen to you. And I learned from teachers how to protest. Like we learned that. That was part of our civics class. That was part of our government and econ class. I had law and ethics and law and government classes that I took in high school too, to where we learned all that how to start a protest and why people do this. And it's not even just the historical aspect of it. That is your First Amendment right. And these parents out here saying, well, why are these kids protesting ICE when they should be in school, blah, blah, blah. These are the same kids that you let for the whole career go through every year and have school shooting drills, and that's not too much for them to handle mentally. That's okay for them to handle mentally to go through school shooter drills their entire school existence from 5 years old to 18 years old. That's okay. They can handle that. They can handle witnessing their friends get their face shot off, but they can't handle having a discourse about politics in their own country. These are kids that are getting ready to vote. These are kids that are learning how to think critically. These are kids that are learning how to think analytically. You have to give them the space and the opportunity to do that. And the fact that these parents are like, if those kids would have went out there and were pro ICE and were pro, Trump, they wouldn't have had nothing to say about it. They would have been like, yes, let's go. Exactly. They would have been all into it and been like, yes, that's my kid. I'm so proud of my kid. But when it's the other way around, oh no, these kids shouldn't be out there. This is endangering their lives. No, sending them to school, period, is endangering their life, especially in Plainfield. Because I'm sorry, that's the breeding ground for the demographic of school shooters.
I didn't know that.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, are all the fucking school shooters white boys? That's mainly out there in Plainfield, white boys. That is the demographic for that shit. So yeah, they were just mad that they weren't on their same side as their parents. That's it. They're just mad because they think the schools are indoctrinating them, when in fact it's the parents that are indoctrinating them. And then they go to school and they learn, hey, there's something else completely out there that I wasn't taught about because my parents are bigots and won't teach me about it. So yeah, they are learning how to think at school. You're learning critical thinking skills in high school classes. At least that's what I learned. I learned how to think critically. I learned how to go through and ask questions. I learned context. You know what I mean? You learn literacy. And I think that's the other thing, is the literacy rate is shit.
One more word.
Comprehension. That's it, exactly. Comprehension skills are just non-existent. And especially...
Ms. Greer, you hear that? I'm sure you heard that. Okay.
Yeah. You might know how to read the words on a page, but if you don't know how to read those words and put them into context and comprehend what they mean, it's going to be gibberish to you. It might as well be a different language. So yeah, like I said, those parents that are talking about, oh, these kids shouldn't be out here doing this because they're just kids. They are the future voters in this country. They are the future workers of this country. Hell, some of them are workers now in high school. You allow your kids to get a driver's license at 16. You allow them to work at a job when they're 16 and go to school. But it's too dangerous for them to go out and protest. That's too dangerous. Okay. But let that bomb threat go through that school and then send all those kids right out to the same spot that they was all standing at to protest. But that's safe. That's safe. It doesn't make any sense.
You know what? You just made me realize something. No wonder they don't like Bad Bunny. They can't comprehend.
Exactly. They have no comprehension. They have no comprehension skills. It is sickening the way that people do not understand context and comprehend anything.
The image of Chris Tucker just came in my head. Do you understand the words coming out?
Was that coming out of my mouth? But some people only want to understand to argue too, though. So
it's one of those things to where I'm all about kids.
Mm-hmm.
I love when a student, a child excels in school. I love when they learn the correct things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the reason why Trump has tried to dismantle education as he has.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had my conservative buddy on here because I'm sure he would say the other side. And he would say something that just, I can't say it wouldn't make sense. But he would say his piece in it. Because I feel like we're clowning on one side a little too much. But it's just a straight up fact.
I mean, you want me to clown on some Democrats? Believe me, I can go on in on them too.
Oh yeah, they
you want me to go in? You want me to go in on the Democrats? I will. You want me to go in on liberals? Ooh, don't let me go in on some liberals. Oh, I hate them liberals. I don't. Yeah, the liberals are just as bad as the damn conservatives.
Yep. But my thing is, when you try to frame it and you do this Jedi mind trick, this ain't Star Wars.
Right.
But you do this Jedi mind trick saying, "Oh well, you're indoctrinating the students." Well, what do you think you're doing when you're withholding them from getting the fair information so they can make a
Yep.
comprehensive decision themselves? You're
Yes.
indoctrinating
Exactly.
them to think like you do and to follow your footsteps.
Yep. Yeah. Any place that bans books, you're banning information. You're making it illegal for anyone to understand both sides or any side of a situation. You're not the good guy. People that have banned or burned books in the past so that people could not be educated, those are not the good guys.
Well, they did that to
They're not.
slaves back in the day.
They done it throughout history, Bob. It's happened throughout history. They wouldn't allow women to fucking learn to read because
Oh yeah.
God forbid a woman learn how to read, she might be able to learn that she's a freaking slave. There she might learn something. God forbid a black man know his rights. God forbid anybody know how to do anything for themselves because nope, we need them to be dependent on us. We need them to be under our thumb. We need them to you know they need slaves, they need pawns, and that's really what it is. The indoctrination is not coming from the schools. The indoctrination is coming from parents that refuse to learn, and it comes from parents who refuse to allow their children to learn, and then want to bitch and moan because they didn't get on the basketball team. They can't play this week, probably because they can't read and they can't pass their reading and their spelling test. Maybe they should learn to read first before they start playing basketball. You know,
Boy,
I'm
boy.
saying, but yeah, they allow kids to be stupid. Parents allow their children to be ignorant because if their kids are smarter than them, then they might, oh, wait a minute, they might question me if my kid is smarter than me. They might question the reason that I say or do certain things if they're smarter than me. So I can't have my kid be smarter than me.
And the thing that a person hates to be, especially in the United States, is wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. People don't like being wrong. And it's very difficult for people to admit when they've done something wrong too. Accountability is nowhere to be seen. Yeah,
Oh, Miss
because it's
Graham, did
always
you hear that word? Did you hear that word? Did you hear that word? Oh, oh,
I mean, some
oh.
people don't like it. Sometimes it stings, sometimes it hurts. But that's the
Yeah.
thing, though. If I've learned that if over the past 20 years that if I've made a declarative statement at one point and then I've learned something else about it and where I changed my opinion on it, I'll come out and shout it to the rooftops because people need to understand that you can change your mind. You can change your stance on something. You can change the way you feel about a certain subject when you learn other aspects of that. But when you just refuse and you shut off and you say, I'm not learning anything else, I'm just going to go with what I know, and that's just what I know. It's like, well, then you shouldn't have a right to an opinion if that's the case, because your opinion is based off of nothing. You have nothing to back it up. So, like I said, the indoctrination is coming from the parents, and it's coming from them, and more often than not, it's coming from Christian parents because, again, indoctrination that I think starts more in a church and than it does in school. But that again, that's just my experience.
I love you, sis.
I love you too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to cut it out for today. This week's edition of The Right Direction. Listen, I really hope you guys enjoyed this backwards and forwards. I really want my conservative guy to come on too, so we can get all sides. I want,
Let's go.
I don't want this to look like it's a one way track, but he's getting some medical attention done. I hope you're doing better, brother. Hopefully you can get on and get to talking, and doctors treat you well, and you can get on here and talk because I want everybody to be represented. I'm not like some people that says, I'm indoctrinating anybody. I want people to be able to speak and for you to learn from me and me to learn from you. We all come from
Yep.
different places. We all come from different shapes,
Yep.
sizes. I mean, we like different
Mhm.
things, but
Yep.
our experiences do shape us. And when our experience shape us, sometimes we get into a mindset that we're stuck on.
Yes.
But it takes that one time to when somebody can say something that makes you think and to make you think for the better.
Mhm.
And that way, you can go ahead, do the right thing for all people, and start walking in the right direction. I'm the mastermind, Bob Rogers. This is Ash. We are out. See ya.